Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, February 8th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. Let's get into it. Today is the day. It's finally here. Super Bowl 60. It's time. In a couple of hours, the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks will face off in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl championship. Super Bowl 60 is finally here, and I'm so excited for it. Now, today's episode is going to be dedicated entirely to this game, the biggest game of the year in football, and honestly, arguably, the biggest sports game of the year. It's finally here. We're going to talk about it. Um, I'm so excited that you guys are here with me for this day. We have so much to talk about in this game. It's a really good game. I believe it's going to be a good game. And we're going to try and break down every little bit aspect of it, from the more broad stuff to the detailed, stat oriented, game stuff. It's going to be a great episode today. Let's get into it. It's going to be so much fun. So we're going to start with, where should we start? We'll just give the broad general aspect. Okay, it's Super Bowl 60, the 60th Super Bowl. The AFC and NFC champions are meeting in Santa Clara at Levi's Stadium. I know Levi's Stadium very well. It's where the Niners play. I'm going to be honest, it's not the greatest stadium. Now, it is a pretty good stadium compared to others, but for the price tag that it was built, that cost to build it, it should be a lot better. Now, it's still a great venue for the Super Bowl, so no complaint. It's great that it's here in the Bay Area. And speaking of the Bay Area, um, I look outside right now. Look at the window. Holy moly! I don't see a cloud. It is 65, 65, and perfectly sunny. Just an unbelievably beautiful day in the Bay, and it's gonna be such great weather continued till kickoff and till the end of the game. We are in for perfect weather for Super Bowl 60 from Santa Clara. It's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be super exciting. That's the more general stuff. Now let's get into the teams, man. We're going to start with the New England Patriots, the AFC champions, 14-3, first place in the AFC East. They were second place in the conference, first in the East. They won their division with a record of 14-3. They've won all three playoff games to get here. They beat the Chargers, they beat the Texans, they beat the Broncos. Let's get into it. They are led by their head coach, Mike Vrabel, who played linebacker for the Patriots. And I can't remember how many Super Bowls he won with the Patriots. It might have been three. I know in one game he actually caught a touchdown. It might have been multiple touchdowns in the Super Bowl. He caught multiple touchdowns. He's a defensive player. He caught multiple touchdowns in the Super Bowl. But he's their leader. He's their head coach. He was the head coach for the Tennessee Titans from 2019 to 2022. Yes, 2022. So for about 4 years, they made the playoffs every single year, and they made it to the AFC Championship game once in 2019. He was a great coach, but towards the end, there was a power struggle with the GM and ownership. Vrabel lost, was fired, took a year off he was on the Cleveland staff, just not even really as a coach. He was just kind of there helping out. But he came back to the team that he played with as their head coach, and he has turned this team around. Really, really spectacular turnaround. The Patriots 13-4 in 24-25, or in 23-24. In 24-25, also 13-4. This year, 14-3. Huge, huge turnaround. And it's really thanks to Mike Vrabel and the coaching staff and this culture that they've established in New England, where they're really, really close. They have a very special bond, and their kind of mentality, their identity, they call themselves Warriors. They call themselves the Warriors. They go on the road. They're undefeated on the road, 9-0 this year in road games. They're tough. They are physical. They are just an all-around great football team. And that's why they're here in the Super Bowl, is because they are an all-around great football team. Now, the Patriots in general, this is their 12th Super Bowl appearance. They have won 6. They have lost 5. They won all 6 of their Super Bowls under Bill Belichick and with Tom Brady as the quarterback from 2000 till 2018. They won 6 Super Bowls. They also lost like 4, I think 4 in that span. Their first Super Bowl they lost to the 1985 Chicago Bears, who are one of the greatest teams of all time. But the more recent era, the dynasty New England Patriots, Brady Belichick Patriots, that ended in 2019 when Brady retired, or not retired, went to Tampa Bay. The Belichick made the playoffs the next year with Mac Jones, rookie Mac Jones, but after that, lackluster seasons, 13-4, 13-4, like I said. So but now the Patriots are back. They're back, a new look team in the Super Bowl, and a lot of that can be attributed to Vrabel, but also to Drake May. Drake May, the quarterback of the Patriots, drafted number 3 overall in 2024 in the first round out of North Carolina. He's a great athlete. He's a tall guy. He's 6'4", 225. He's a great athlete. He's got a nice arm, but the the Patriots offense and Drake May especially, they're very, very efficient. They are in the regular season second in points per game, 28.8, fourth in passing yards per game with 250.5, sixth in rushing yards per game with 128.9, 58 touchdowns in the regular season, that's third. And then the big one, yards per play, 6.2 yards per play, that's first in the league in the regular season. Now, in the postseason, they haven't necessarily been as good. They're more towards the bottom of the pack when it comes to passing stats. Their rushing is still very good, but their points per game are down in the postseason. The yards in total are down in the postseason, and a lot of that is because they played 3 of the best defenses in the league. Chargers are a top 10 defense. They put up 16 points against them. The Texans are the best defense in the league. They put up 28 points against them, although there was a pick six, so they technically put up 21. And then against the Broncos, who are top 5 defense, maybe third best in the league, they put up 10. That game was in a blizzard. So the offense, which was so good in the regular season, has faltered a little bit, and that's why the Patriots aren't the favorite to win this game, is because in the playoffs, their offense has been slow. It hasn't been clicking on the same rate, hasn't been functioning on the same rate that it was in the regular season when they were so dominant and they were rolling over teams. And in my opinion, the main reason for that is the offensive line. Drake May has been sacked in 5 times. He's been sacked 5 times in the 3 playoff games that the Patriots have played. And that's part of the reason why they've been struggling, especially in the passing game, is because if you can't block for your quarterback, you're not going to be able to do your normal passing offense. The receivers won't have as much time to get open. It'll be easier for the secondary to cover, and the pass rush has been getting home against Drake May, and that's why it's been so kind of slow. And this is, we're just gonna stop it, not stop it here, but we're gonna make the point here because this relates to my key to the game, and I'm just going to say it now, so I'm probably going to bring it up over and over again, but this is my key to the game. The key to Super Bowl 60 are the trenches. Well, the key, okay, let's try that again. This is for the clip here. The key to Super Bowl 60 will be the trenches and the battle of the lines. The line of scrimmage is going to be so crucial in this game because both teams have a great defensive line and both teams have quarterbacks that have, I'm trying to figure out what I want to say here because, this is going to be the clip. This is going to be the clip. So, yeah, let's try that again, shall we? Please, just you can, yeah. Anyway, if you're still here, thank you for being here. Just bear with me here. I'm trying to I'm gonna use my TikTok promote coupon. They gave me a free coupon to use. I'm gonna use it on this one. So let's try. We gotta get this right. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. This is how you do it. The key to Super Bowl 60 will be the trenches. The line of scrimmage is going to be so crucial in this game. In the last three playoff games for the Patriots, Drake May has been sacked 5+ times in each of those games. And now they're going up against another intimidating, great defensive line in the Seattle Seahawks. Not to mention, their secondary is also elite. And on the other side of that, the Seahawks and Sam Darnold, he needs time in the pocket to be able to, dice up defenses with accuracy. But if he's forced off his spot, that's when things start to go wrong for the Seahawks. Both offensive lines are good, but both defensive lines are better. And that's why the key to the game is going to be the line of scrimmage and the battle of the trenches. In my opinion, whoever controls the line of scrimmage will control the pace of the game, the way the game goes, and they're going to have the advantage in this one. And it's not just for the pass, it's for the running game as well. Both offenses rely on the running game. Both offenses are very good at running the football. But if they're not able to do that effectively, it's going to throw everything off schedule and it's going to force the quarterbacks to have to make off schedule plays. They both can do that, but you'd rather have them, with granted their inexperience, be able to work within the game plan with a clean pocket and have time and clarity to execute the game plan and move the ball down the field effectively. The trenches are kind of an overlooked aspect in football games, but it starts and ends with the line of scrimmage in every game. And on the biggest game of the year, it's no different. And that's why my key to Super Bowl 60 is the offensive and defensive lines, the line of scrimmage battle, the battle of the trenches. That was a pretty good clip, not gonna lie. But yeah, just to dive deeper into that, while we're on the subject, we might as well keep going. Um, Drake May, this is an interesting stat though. In the last 7 games, he's in the 7 games where he's taken 4+ sacks, undefeated. So he's shown that he can still win while being pressured. But how far can I get you, right? It is interesting to know that exists. Um, yeah, so Drake May finished second in MVP voting this year. He's a great quarterback. I like the guy a lot. I like his wife as well. Her baking TikToks I find very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. As for the running game, the Patriots have a running back by committee, kind of like the Seahawks, but they do have two very good backs: Trevion Henderson, the rookie from Ohio State, and Ramondre Stevenson, who's in his like third or fourth year. Um, yeah, fourth year. Both are good running backs. Ramondre Stevenson had his problems with ball security. Henderson's more of an explosive back, but Stevenson is probably the primary, and they both run extremely well. They're going to need the line to block for them in order to be able to run. So we'll see how that goes. As for the Patriots on the receiving and back to the passing game, their receivers it's a pretty good receiving group. It's not the best in the league, but you got Stephon Diggs is the main name. Um, Pro Bowler, been to the playoffs multiple times. He's their best receiver. He is fading. He is past his prime, but he's still one of the best receivers in the AFC. Good wide receiver. He's a playmaker. I do expect him to play a part in today's game. Um, Seahawks secondary is very good. We will get to that, but I think Stephon Diggs, he will play a part in this game. So they also have Kayshawn Booties, our number 2, Mac Hollins, security blanket, and then Demario Douglas is their explosive X Factor threat. Pop Douglas, as they call him. They also have Hunter Henry as their tight end. He's a reliable target as well. They have a good receiving group, not the best, but when the key, like I said, to the Patriots offense, the key really is efficiency. They're a very efficient team. They move the ball well. When everything is going smoothly, you don't need like a superstar threat, but they work together as a group. They do a good job. Now, for the offensive line, like I mentioned, I do want to say that they are a little bit injured. Will Campbell isn't necessarily at full strength. He was their first round draft choice this past draft. They have Morgan Moses as the other tackle. Um, they are they're a good O line. They aren't fully healthy, so that is important. No, they're not fully healthy. Now let's just talk about. We'll switch gears. Let's switch teams, not gears. We'll stay on the offensive side of the football and go to the Seattle Seahawks. Their quarterback is actually. Let's take a step back here. Let's talk about the Seahawks in general. The Seahawks, 14-3. They won the NFC West. They were first place in the NFC. They got the first round bye, so they've only played 2 games in the postseason so far. They demolished the 49ers. They outlasted the Rams, and they got to the Super Bowl on the NFC side. They are a very good team as well. I'd argue they're more complete than the Patriots. They are a very good team, very well coached as well. Their coach is Mike Macdonald, former Ravens assistant under John Harbaugh. He was also at Michigan under Jim Harbaugh, so he knows a thing or two about winning. And winning, he's done a lot of that this year. 14-3, like I mentioned. He's a defensive-minded coach like Mike Vrabel, and he's done a great job. This is his second year. The first year, the defense showed promise, but the offense wasn't very good. They fixed that. They got Sam Darnold instead of Geno Smith, and the offenses played great as well. But that defense really is something. It is coached by Mike Macdonald. He is their play caller, and it's really good. Okay, the Seattle Seahawks. I think they've been to 3 Super Bowls. And I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they've been to 3, and I'm pretty sure that they are 1-2 in those games. Their only win was against the Broncos when they crushed them in 2013. The next year, they made it back to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots. So that's a little bit of fun history there. Sorry, the hair is bugging me right now. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with that. Um, let's talk about the offense now, okay? Um, we'll start with the quarterback, like we did for the Patriots. Sam Darnold is their quarterback. Sam Darnold has had a very, very interesting career so far. His path to get to the Super Bowl is it's a good story. I'm not even gonna lie to you. First round pick, number 3, just like Drake May. The difference is Sam Darnold was taken by the New York Jets in 2018, and he was with them for 3 years. 3 years? Really? Maybe it was 2. No, he was with them for 3 years, and um, then he went to Carolina, where he played better, but not good still. It's also important now that the Jets are a very dysfunctional franchise. For those of you watching that don't really know that much, the Jets are not a good team, okay? And they haven't been for a long time. And Sam Darnold was put in a position where he wasn't, you know, he wasn't put in a position to flourish, to develop well. And everyone had written him off when he went to the Panthers, and after he went to the Panthers, it was basically knowledge that he was done for. He was a bust. And then he went to San Francisco. Um, he spent the year there with my Niners, back up to Brock Purdy, and then he went to Minnesota. And when their rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy got hurt, he stepped up and played fantastic football, and he got them to the playoffs where, sorry, it's the hair again, where he played horrible in his first ever playoff game. The Vikings decided they weren't going to bring him back, so he went to the Seahawks, where he signed a big contract, and here he is in the Super Bowl. And this really speaks a lot to the development of young quarterbacks in today's game. And it also speaks a lot to Sam Darnold as a person, man. His perseverance, his character. He worked hard to get back to a starting job, consistent starting job. And he's a very different person and player than he was when he got drafted. And I'm happy for the guy. I think he's a good guy. Like I said, he was a Niner, and I am happy for him. I don't want to see him win though. He's a Seahawk, but I am happy for him. And he has totally revived his career, playing the best football he's ever had. And yeah, it's good for him. So that's the quarterback of the Seahawks. He's throwing the ball to the offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's a third year receiver. Where did he go to college? It was Ohio State, right? Yeah, Ohio State produces so many good wide receivers, by the way, if you're not familiar with that. Ohio State is wide receiver university, pretty much. They've produced so many good receivers. Anyway, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Offensive Player of the Year, absolute superstar, first in receiving yards, 1,793 with 10 touchdowns. Fantastic season from JSN, and he's really stepped up into that number one wide receiver role for the Seahawks. He is a superstar, not just in the making. He's been made. He's at his. He might not even be at his peak, which is scary to think about. They also have Cooper Kupp, former Ram, former Offensive Player of the Year himself, the last ever receiver to win the Triple Crown, which is leading the league in catches, receiving yards, and touchdowns. He's past his prime like Diggs, but he's still a good option. They also have Rashid Shaheed, who's their punt returner, and he's explosive. He's one of the fastest players in the league. Um, if he gets an open space, look out because he's gone. He's very explosive. For the wide receivers, or not for the wide receivers, for the running back, it's also a committee. The problem is for the Seahawks that their second half is out for the year with a ACL. So they have Kenneth Walker, the third K9, as they call him. He is the lead back. And then also Zach Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet is the one who is out. So you're going to see a lot of K9 in this game, and he has stepped up. He has been very good. The offensive line is also very good, particularly their rookie guard, Gray Zabel. He has been very good this year. He could have been Offensive Rookie of the Year, which is crazy to think about because he's a lineman. That's just how good he's been. So, but like I mentioned, the trenches are going to be super important. And while the Seahawks line is fully healthy and playing the best football they have been, the defense they're going up is also very good. Defense they're going up against is also very good. So let's switch gears here, switch sides of the field. Let's talk about those defenses because actually, hang on, just one more piece of information about the offense. Then we'll go over the play callers real quick. For Seattle, their play caller is Clint Kubiak. He is the son of Gary Kubiak, who won a Super Bowl with the Broncos. Clint Kubiak is part of the, well, he's not part of the Shanahan tree necessarily, although he is part of the Shanahan tree, but he's part of the extensive Bill Walsh coaching tree. So if you track it, went from Walsh, and then Walsh was Seifert, who took over for Walsh, and then Mike Shanahan, who is Kyle's dad, coached under Seifert. When Shanahan went to the Broncos, he was there with Gary Kubiak. So Gary Kubiak came from the Shanahan coaching tree. So technically it is part of the Mike Shanahan tree, which is also very extensive. But part of that offensive genius, Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, McDaniel, the other LaFleur now, all of those young offensive genius coaches, Clint Kubiak is one of those, and he's going to be one of those next year. He's going to be the Raiders head coach when this game is over. He's a very, very good play caller, and the Seahawks are lucky to have him. He was with the Niners last year, I believe, and yeah, the Kubiaks, the Shanahans, all of those young offensive guys, very good at their jobs, and he is as well. For the Patriots, their offensive play caller is Josh McDaniels. This is his third stint with the Patriots. He was with them for the early years went to be the head coach of the Broncos and was horrible at that job. So he came back to the Patriots, won 3 more Super Bowls with Brady and Belichick, went to be the Raiders head coach. I guess the Raiders didn't learn from the first time because he was just as bad as he was with the Broncos. And now he's made his way back to New England where he probably will be staying forever. I mean, this guy's not going to get another head coaching job. Man, that's okay because he is a horrible head coach, but he's a very, very good play caller, very, very good offensive coordinator. And I think he's done another great job with Drake May. They are on the same page. It's the same kind of offense that Brady was using, but with the more athletic quarterback in Drake May, running the football at least, they're a little bit more spread out. They're a little bit more, you know, run centered, I guess. There's a new wrinkle to that by having Drake May's athleticism in there. So that's it. Those are the offenses. Now we're gonna get to the real stars. Not necessarily the stars, but in my opinion, the two best units on the field. These guys are going to determine which way the game goes. The defenses. We'll start with the New England defense. They had a spending spree in the offseason. Then they signed a whole lot of defensive players. They went out, they signed free agents on the D line, the linebackers, the secondary to make this unit, which is a very, very good defense. Like I said, they play together, they play hard. They're very good. The D line has been getting to the quarterback a lot. They totally wrecked the game versus the Chargers. They also pressured C.J. Stroud. They have good, not necessarily the biggest names per se on the D line, but they are a good unit, well coached. They work together. And if they can pressure Darnold, it's going to be big in this game to get him off his spot. Now, the linebackers, Robert Spillane, Landry, the linebackers are also good. But the real star on the New England Patriots defense is their shutdown corner, Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. Round 1 pick. I believe he was picked like right before JSN. He has turned into one of the best corners in the league, at least in the AFC this year. He is just locked down. You put somebody on his side, he travels. He's going to travel with JSN, and that is the other, the Christian Gonzalez versus Jackson Smith and Jigba. That matchup is going to be crucial to this game because, like I said, Christian Gonzalez, he travels. And what that means is he will go to whatever side of the field the other team's best receiver is on. In this case, that's the Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. So you're going to see Christian Gonzalez lined up with JSN basically every snap. And that is going to be a very fun matchup to watch. Honestly, you could just watch JSN and Gonzalez the entire game, and it would be great entertainment because these are two of the best to be doing it right now, going up against each other on the biggest stage, the biggest stage ever. So that's going to be a very fun matchup to watch. The secondary is also, they have good safeties. The other side is very good for the defensive backs. New England defense is very good, and they've been playing insanely well over these playoffs, man. I mean, really, they are very good. They are first in rushing yards allowed per game in the playoffs. These are all playoff stats that I'm about to mention. They allow 3.1 yards per attempt, which is third. They allow the third most passing yards, 138.33. First in passing yards per attempt, 3.8. And they also have 12 sacks this postseason, which is the most by any team. Obviously, they've played 3 games, which is more than any other team, but wow. This defense has been playing at a very, very high level, and I do expect to see them continue to play at that high level again. Now, granted, the offenses they were going against were not good compared to the Seahawks offense. The Seahawks offense has also been playing at a very, very high level. It's going to be the biggest test the Patriots have faced this year. They've gone up against Josh Allen twice. had contained him one time. The second time he ran all over him. And but in my opinion, the Seahawks offense is the best offense the Patriots have had to face all year. This is their biggest test, and it comes on the biggest stage. We'll see if they continue to rise up to the occasion or if the Seahawks offense will overpower them. Now, the other side, the Seahawks defense, the dark side. This defense it's scary. It really is. They are a very well coached unit, and this team has a lot of stars on the defensive side of the ball. The defensive line, Demarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams are the two big ones. They get to the quarterback, man. They really do. They have just 3 sacks in the postseason, but they were seventh in sacks in the regular season. Regular season stats: first in opposing points per game, 10th in offensive passing yards per game, third in offensive rushing or opposing rushing yards per game. They were second in opposing touchdowns, allowing just 31, sixth in takeaways. Very, very good defense in the regular season, and they've continued that form in the postseason. Now, they've only played 2 games. One was against the Niners, and we couldn't do anything, and one was against the Rams, who could do everything. So the postseason stats are a little bit skewed, but they have been very, very good in the postseason. Now, I did mention the Rams. The Rams moved the ball at will against the Seahawks, and part of it was because the offensive line for the Rams held up, and also because they have the best receivers in the game. Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. It's the best wide receiver duo, in my opinion, in the entire NFL. And they dominated them. Puka Nacua has been the kryptonite of the Seahawks defense. They have allowed big time yardage to him every time they've played. But other than Puka Nacua, nobody has done anything against this Seattle secondary. It is probably the best part of their defense. It is really good. They have Devin Witherspoon, the 5th overall pick in the 2023 draft, the same draft as Christian Gonzalez. They have Nick Emmanwori, who was basically the runner-up for Defensive Rookie of the Year. They have good safeties as well. Love and Bryant. Um, Actually, is Bryant even on the team? I'm pretty sure he is, but yeah, he is on the team. I just wanted to make sure that. Um, they have a very, very good secondary, and apart from Matthew Stafford, no team has. Oh, so basically, the only 2 quarterbacks to have success against this Seahawks secondary are Matthew Stafford, the MVP, and Baker Mayfield back in week 5 when he was playing like an MVP candidate. So no, no quarterback really, apart from 2 outliers, have had success against the Seahawks defense. I did mention that Mayfield at the time and Stafford played like MVP candidates. Drake May was an MVP candidate. He finished second. So we'll see if he is able to have success against this defense, this secondary, which is very, very good. The linebackers are also good. Ernest Jones is their middle linebacker. This defense all around is very scary, and I predict it's gonna be a defensive type of game unless the line's gonna hold up, which I don't think they're gonna be able to do for the entirety of the game. Unless the offensive lines can play great, I think this might go more of a defensive type game. It matches my prediction. So I feel like we talked about everything. Um, I mean, yeah, that's basically everything there is to it. Uh, I do think it's be more of a defensive type game. So let's get to those predictions. Here we go. I think my prediction for this game, I have the Patriots winning. Okay, and it's kind of a tough scenario for me because I did pick the Patriots to win at the start of the postseason. They were my original postseason prediction for the Super Bowl Super Bowl winner. I picked them to win the Super Bowl at the start of the postseason. And when you do that, you have to stick with your pick. You can't be switching up. So I will be taking the Patriots. With that being said, logically, I think the Seahawks are the better team. They match up well. And if I hadn't picked the Patriots to win, I'd probably be picking the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are favored in this game, but I have to stick with the Patriots. And if they're going to be able to do that, they're going to need the offensive line to hold up. They're going to need Christian Gonzalez to cover JSN well. So, although I do think that, it makes sense to pick the Seahawks, and I probably should pick the Seahawks, I'm not. I'm going to pick the New England Patriots to win this football game. I think the score is going to be 24-21, and I could even see it being less than that. If the Seahawks were to win, it would be a lower scoring game, at least for the Patriots. The margin would be greater, the margin of victory would be greater, and the scoring would be a little bit lower. But if the Patriots are to win, they would need to win it probably in a more offensive way. That's just, my thinking. Um, Actually, I don't even know if that makes sense. I don't know. If the Patriots are to win this game, they're gonna have to rattle Sam Darnold, and I think they could. They think they could do that. And as long as the New England Patriots can get a couple good drives in there where they get the ball in the box and score touchdowns, field goals aren't going to cut it. They're going to need touchdowns to win this game. I'll take the Patriots. Patriots 24-21. Did I say 24-21? I'm gonna say 24-21. That'll be my prediction. I think it's gonna be a great game today. I'm really excited for it. We're gonna be live streaming it, and I can't wait for it. We are 2 hours away from the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I can't wait for it. It's the biggest game of the year, and also from a more broad perspective, this is the last football game, the last meaningful football game we're gonna see until September. So just let's enjoy it to the fullest. Let's have a great time wherever we're watching it from. And now that you've watched this video, you can impress some people with your ball knowledge. So thank you guys for watching this video. I can't wait for the Super Bowl to start. It's going to be so much fun. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.